Yeah, it is definitely like a 10 out of 10 movie for me, actually. I am definitely going to put this movie as like one of my comfort movies of all time. Project Hail Mary, I was able to actually watch it like a couple hours ago. Kind of wish I actually did watch it like a few days ago when it first released, but I just didn't get a chance to watch it and make a review out of it. But after like being able to actually wake up early and actually watch it, I'm actually more so glad that I forced myself out of bed and actually watched this whole entire movie. If you guys don't know, Project Hail Mary is actually based on a novel book, who is actually the same people who made The Martian, which personally I grew up watching The Martian. I think like watching the movies of like space exploration, the ideas of like fictional stuff about space where like, there's a possibility where we can actually discover and live on a different planet other than Earth, or like find different life forms out in space. I think there is like it's so fun and it's really hard to find those kind of movies nowadays because like it's so genuinely complicated if you actually try to create one. I think Interstellar it has this such a complicated emotion roller coaster where well, it's not complicated to be fair. It's such a like complicated mess that they're like the main character is going to be in, and we all know how Interstellar story goes. It is one of the few movies that is like so crushingly painful to watch. Even to this very day, I didn't even give Interstellar a rewatch at all because vividly remember this movie so well. Like like 8 years ago, it was so good. It stuck in my brain so well, and there's no other movie that does it very well. The Martian is one of them, without a doubt. But Project Hail Mary is a movie about a guy named Grace who is actually a school teacher, who is a professor, like a science school teacher, like they're talking about space, and he's the one who's teaching about the sun and giving out like special knowledge about like the speed of light to kids. I wish that's my teacher when I was a kid, actually. He's like such a great teacher. And fun fact, Ryan Gosling is the main character here, and of course most of the time whenever I see Ryan Gosling, it is the only main reason why I even watch the movie. But knowing the fact that this is actually the same guy who made The Martian, I actually have a really, really good feeling that this movie is going to be really good. And yes, let me go back to the plot of the story, where like Grace is actually a teacher, and the government comes by to him and actually asks for help because the son is technically dying by another thingy called astrogen, and then they're trying to figure it out what's causing this. Therefore, they kind of send like a bunch of people to check out like another solar system that actually has the similar case where like they have the sun that has the red line that makes the sun dying, but in this solar system it doesn't die for some reason. This sun has the similar case with our sun, but their sun is not dying, as the main character actually went through a coma and wake up from one, and now he come across with another alien that actually has the similar situation as Grace has. And from there it was the start of like the bonding between a man and an alien that actually makes it so much stronger than any racism I have ever encountered with. Sorry, that's technically a joke that I have to think about it, because like whenever you put two different people into a similar situation where they're trying to strive to protect or is trying to save something, you make them like the unstoppable duo. All right, it's literally the yin and yang that comes together so well, because Grace and the alien, which is the name Rocky, I have never seen such a such a wholehearted relationship, to the point where like I'm willing to die for this piece of rock. Okay, this alien rock is so darn cute. I would actually lay down right now and make him just become the bridge for him to actually survive. I am so in touch with how this movie goes. Okay, the visuals of this movie, the movie is spectacular. I'm actually losing oxygen right now. I'm actually real excited. It's stupidly good, and the story is actually about how the main character is slowly realizing about a couple of things, why he's actually in the space and how he got there. Where like it actually makes you feel makes you feel something for the main character, but also at the same time he you can't help but like you wanted to actually know more about the rock alien, where like the rock alien has this like very weird chemistry with Grace that actually comes together. This is not romance. Please don't. Like I know some of you idiots would actually like make it weird, because like look at JJK fans. But this movie is so spectacularly fresh because it's something special when it comes to this bonding, man. You don't see this kind of movie nowadays. Like for example, my favorite and comfort movie is going to be The Green Book because I love about the story about racism, where like the white guy and the working under a black guy comes together, and the story that kind of comes out like how each one of them actually kind of struggle, especially the black guy struggle, and how like the white guy is actually trying to actually understand his situation, and then they kind of bond together and actually have like sympathetic of like moment where like, hey, this black dude is actually is still a human. He has a life, and he is actually really upset with all this oppressive stuff going around as being used up by the white people. The Green Book is a spectacular comfort movie that makes everything that's not supposed to come together, but it comes together so well, and I love it. Not supposed to come together. I mean, like historically speaking, okay. Which is the same thing with the Project Hail Mary. It's the alien and the guy putting effort to communicate each other, and makes this like impeccable bond to each other that you just don't want them to separate because they're just too fun and too lovable to actually to be separated. When like they say goodbye, I genuinely have my heart break at that moment. It was the first time I almost shed a tear for a piece of rock. It was a moment where I genuinely think that maybe aliens aren't so bad. Of course, Warhammer 40k fans would not be happy with that. It's such a good movie. All right, it's so beautifully written down, and personally, I can't even think of like what's the problem of this movie. Although I did say this is a book adaptation to it, and I did like hear a couple of things. Only one thing that like from the book that was changed, where like especially the intro, apparently in the book where like the main character Grace, when he woke up, he's supposed to do like this insane calculation, and then like, haha, I'm in space. But like, unfortunately, they didn't do it in the intro like that, because like they're trying to make it more like thoughtful, which kind of makes sense when they're given in that kind of situation. And the story kind of goes off a little bit slower, but it does give you into like questioning things like, where did all of this goes off? Why are you here? What's the idea of this whole entire trip? Was excuse me, was this trip even worth it for such a small piece of a puzzle? Was it actually entirely worth it for the humankind to actually sacrifice everything for this such like a little expedition? Even though like they could have just done it with like their own son. There's a lot of questions that you can actually ask, but I would say those questions are actually something for like maybe in the future that we can discuss, because like they did actually leave it in a very open-ended stuff, like but it's still, this is like science fiction stuff to begin with. Some people even actually praise this movie being like the best science fiction of all time, which I kind of disagree, because like sometimes sci-fi did depends of like where which how like how much you level up of the like the sci-fi intensity there. Like for the Project Hail Mary, the sci-fi ness in there is not a lot of like putting enhancement there. Just a little bit stuff of abnormality and like putting in there, and like it comes together very well. It's a simple story that gives out a really good motivation for the main character, especially when like there's so much stuff at stake here for the humankind, and also so much stakes for the alien kind as well, that you just have to strive forward and try to make it work what you can, especially when there's not a lot of things to help you out, even despite them like being teaming up with like the aliens. There is such a good story, man. It's so good. I will probably watch it again. Like I said, this is like such a comfort movie, and also Harry Styles' song here is actually really good. Man, it's my first time actually hearing out a Harry Styles music solo, and I actually am digging with this music, man. God damn. Uh, I do want to actually say something is that like I think like despite this movie not being very heavily impactful, I think like I could give this movie another watch and multiple watch because there is like a soft spot with this whole entire story where it actually kind of makes it you smile throughout the at very end. It's just genuinely fun. Except for Interstellar. Interstellar is such a hard truth that you can't really actually handle. It's so traumatic that I can't even watch it for the second time. It's not a bad thing per se. It's just that like the movie was so good and it's so impactful. I just don't even need to watch it for the second time. Project Hail Mary is similar to that, but it's so fun to actually watch from the very beginning of the movie to the very end. Especially it's Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling has this like charismatic goofiness that I just can't pull my eyes away from him. I love Ryan Gosling. I love him from Blade Runner or from Drive. I need to watch more of his movies because I know that he actually did like act in some of the romance movies that I need to actually put my time into. However, that's pretty much it. I got nothing much to talk about. And I think like this is the only movie that I'm willing to give it 10 out of 10. I didn't read the book, unfortunately, and I don't know anything like if they actually did left out anything at all from this movie that it didn't even being adapted from the books. If you want are willing to be so happy to give your time, let me know if they actually have anything that you're upset, or maybe you actually feel satisfied with this movie because this movie it felt like a complete package of like just as a good movie. I don't know where to go with this. But I'm gonna end the stream because like I'm already done yapping. There's nothing much of like energy to go off now. Like yeah, hope you have a lovely day or have a lovely night. Sayonara, suckers. Project Mary. Yeah, the praise and every hype is actually very warranted right now. It deserved all the eyes on the movie. All right, peace out, y'all.